Welcome into another Rankum edition of Three's a Crowd. Preston Vargas alongside Eli Atwood. And this one has been in the works for a while now. Since the World Cup's going on, we figured we rank the stadiums for the World Cup, all 16, and we're going to do it under a new format this time. I have a list of all the stadiums right here, and Eli and I will tell you where they rank from 1 to 16. So you ready, Eli?
Oh yeah, ready to go.
All right, let's start off with the first one, Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. We'll start with you. Where do you have that?
Yeah, I mean for me, this is the undisputed number one. Not
Okay.
only do you have the large capacity, it's the largest soccer specific stadium in this tournament, and just the history too. One of the most historic locations in the world, not even just in this tournament. So definitely offers an environment like no other.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't understate the history of what this stadium's meant to the world of soccer. Of course, the World Cup final in 1970 and 1970 or 1986. But unfortunately, I have this one at 8. I'm ranking it on aesthetics. In terms of atmosphere, it's probably one of the best home field advantages for Mexico. But for me, I put it at 8th.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a. I mean, it's one of those things with these stadiums. There's a lot of different ways you can rank them, I guess,
Oh yeah,
but there's a lot of
there's
factors to consider.
definitely several ways to do it. That's why this list is definitely hard.
Yeah, for sure.
And now the next stadium is MetLife Stadium, or what's called during the tournament, New York, New Jersey Stadium. Where do you have that?
New York, New Jersey Stadium. I need to find it here. I've got it at number nine.
Okay.
So, not the best stadium, it's been criticized in the past because of the design being boring and whatnot, but it does have a high capacity and in one of the biggest cities in the world, that definitely brings something.
Yeah.
And, usually a big problem with MetLife is the artificial turf, but at least for this tournament, they've gone with real grass, so that kind of ups it a notch compared to usual.
Oh yeah, no artificial turf in that stadium. But for me, I have it at number 10. I mean, it's going to be the host of the World Cup final. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing, but you still have a lot of capacity in that stadium. And for the tournament, it's 80,663. So it's a pretty big stadium. Hosted a Super Bowl in 20, I think it was 2014, uh, the Super Bowl that year after the 2013 season where the Seahawks won. But I think 10 is definitely the best place for MetLife Stadium, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we both had pretty similar spots here for it, and I think that's fair.
Oh yeah, for sure. And now the next one is a stadium I know that you've been to before. It's AT&T Stadium, or what it's called during the tournament, Dallas Stadium.
Yeah,
Where do you have
this is a
that?
stadium I've been to, and a pretty good stadium it is. I've got it here at number four. Big stadium, also very modern, with the enclosed dome. Climate controlled is obviously nice. Get out of that summer heat. Not
Hmm.
necessarily designed for soccer, but I think it works pretty well. Like it's not as bad as some of these are in terms of the transition over. So overall, pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely one of the best NFL stadiums. In my opinion, it should host more Super Bowls than it has been. Only one Super Bowl since 2011. I mean,
Yeah, I think the main issue is maybe the logistics of getting to it. There's not really any transit connection, and the highway is not particularly close. Like it was kind of a pain for me to get an Uber to get out of there whenever I visited.
Uber wasn't really a thing back in 2011.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, even now,
My understanding is have why Phoenix is hosting more Super Bowls. That stadium's
yeah,
probably a little
well,
bigger.
I mean that's not, I'm just saying that the game day
Yeah,
experience there is definitely a bit of a pain in the butt.
I'm for sure. But back to the topic at hand, I have AT&T Stadium at number 2. Of course, home of the Cowboys. What we most know it for, I think they put in curtains for the World Cup, something that Jerry Jones
Hmm.
didn't do for the Cowboys for those 4 o'clock games.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And we always joke during Cowboys games that Jerry Jones probably going to take the elevator down to one of the locker rooms after a loss and probably put a media swarm around him.
Yep, pretty much.
But yeah, definitely the second best stadium at the FIFA World Cup. I think it's going to host the semifinal as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Now we go to the next one. SoFi Stadium. This will host Super Bowl 61. Uh, where do you have this one?
Yeah, I mean, I've got SoFi notched right above AT&T Stadium here at the number three spot. Uh, One of the best NFL stadiums, beautiful architecture and also just in terms of the technology, it was one of the first stadiums with that circular type of screen I remember. So
Oh yeah.
definitely pretty cool. And just in terms of having a little bit of the canopy while still having the open air breeze there in California, I'm sure it's a nice combination.
Oh yeah, definitely one of the most innovative stadiums in the NFL and in the world. It's the most expensive stadium in the world at $5 billion.
Yeah.
And even though it's a closed roof, they still have had thunderstorm uh delays in that stadium. Like you said, because of the open air canopy. But I mean, for me, I have it at number one. I mean, for a lot of those reasons, most expensive stadium in the world. One of the best stadiums in terms of atmosphere was good for the US. Maybe for NFL games, it's not really the best atmosphere. It always feels a little sterile in there. But that's LA for you. It's mostly taken over by away fans. But for the World Cup, I
Yeah,
think it
that's fair.
works. And it's going to host its second Super Bowl.
Yeah, definitely a good spot for that.
And now the next one is Arrowhead Stadium, or I don't know why they dropped the sponsor or why they changed to Kansas City Stadium.
Yeah, they did the same thing for Estadio Azteca, I think.
I
It's like,
mean,
why?
that's another that's another conversation for a different time, but they shouldn't have dropped the name of Arrowhead Stadium. It's not even a sponsor. I mean, GHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. You could drop the GAHA Field part,
Exactly, yeah.
but one of the loudest, I think it is the loudest stadium in the NFL in terms of recorded decibel levels.
Yeah.
Where do you have Arrowhead Stadium?
Yeah, I've got it at number seven, It's a decent sized stadium with a classic design, but also still modern enough to keep its weight. But known as one of the most historically loud stadiums, but no roof to kind of like trap that sound back in. That's a bit of a negative. But I think overall, that unfiltered volume and just the historic status there, of that stadium is pretty good.
I mean, if we're talking about NFL stadiums, it would be probably mid-tier. I mean, they're replacing the stadium, but for me, in terms of soccer, I have it in last place.
Yeah,
Kansas
that's
City,
fair.
Kansas City's been a good host, but really the 30th largest metro area in the United States hosting a team, it's not really big hub. It's a good soccer hub, but I think I'm sorry, you can't have Kansas City on here and leave Chicago out of the World Cup. The third largest city in the United States, Soldier Field is a great stadium and arguably better than Arrowhead in terms of aesthetics than the history.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure there was a lot more to the negotiations than we realize, knowing how the state of Illinois and city of Chicago has been with the Bears' recent stadium negotiations. I doubt they were very friendly.
I mean that's probably the case there. But I think what they did with Arrowhead Stadium, they demolished some of their seats to fit in the field.
Oh, dang.
Like if you notice when you watch some of the World Cup games, there's a giant wall that's higher than usual.
Yeah, from that.
But
Definitely
yeah,
not ideal for soccer, I guess.
but yeah, Chicago hosted the World Cup in '94, and honestly should have hosted it again. You could have had the Fan Fest at Grant Park downtown.
Yeah.
I mean, a big missed opportunity there, but we'll get back on track here. The next one is the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 60, Levi's Stadium, or what is called San Francisco Bay Area Stadium. And Levi's kind of had a fun play in it. Covered their logo on social media because they covered the Levi Stadium logo. But where do you have this stadium on the list?
Yeah, I've got Levi Stadium at 15. I mean, they do have a decent capacity and whatnot, but with no roof or anything, I've seen it. It's been getting hot there, and that one side it's just been baking in the heat. It's just that design with the one open bowl. It's not really meant for summer games, so I think that's been a bit of a factor.
When they initially were in the plans of building it, that's design was supposed to be up at where Candlestick used to be. And between there and I think it's a 10-degree difference on average between Santa Clara and the South Bay, where this stadium is, and where San Francisco is at the Candlestick
Wow.
site. And also, they couldn't plan for a roof because of I think the airport runway for San Jose Airport's like a mile or two down the road,
Yeah, and there's like some sort of electrical plant or something nearby. I remember something about
substation
that. Yeah,
that's causing all the Niners injuries.
yeah, allegedly.
But for me, I have this stadium at 13th, and it's definitely not the best one of the best stadiums in the World Cup. It's still feasible, but going back to the point on Super Bowls, how that stadium has had two Super Bowls and the Cowboys stadium's only had one is beyond me. That's another
Yeah,
one. But yeah, I think it's definitely a good stadium to get around. It's near an amusement park. I think California has great adventure. Great adventure. Correct me if I'm wrong there,
I'm not sure.
but I know there's an amusement park down there. It's an hour outside of San Francisco, about 50 miles. It's like putting a stadium in for an Orlando team in Daytona,
Yeah, exactly.
which the Storm did that this past
That-
season. I'll
That's
tell you,
true.
it wasn't fun.
That was not intentional though.
No, I mean it worked when it worked, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And now we go to the next one. This is NRG Stadium, or what's called Houston Stadium for the World Cup. Where do you have this one?
Yeah, I got it at 14. This stadium just really is not optimized for soccer at all. I mean, obviously, being a nice indoor stadium with a retractable roof is nice, but yeah, it just feels not, you could tell it's not meant for soccer. It's very noticeable.
Definitely not meant for soccer, more for football and the rodeo when it comes
Yeah.
to Houston. And that's why I have it at second to last and 15th for me. And it's Houston's a good host city for soccer. And the stadium, it's nice. It's hosted a couple Super Bowls, but it's definitely starting to age as the years go on. I built in 2002 for the Texans. It's really it's a good retractable roof stadium, but it's starting to become an average stadium at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
And now we go to the next one, Lincoln Financial Field or Philadelphia Stadium, what's called during the tournament. Home of the Philadelphia Eagles. Where do you have this one?
Yeah, I've got the Philadelphia Stadium here at number 11. You know, it's got
Okay.
a pretty average capacity for this list and classic open air design, similar kind of to that Kansas City design, you know. No major problems in terms of like the views or anything like that. And it's just kind of a basic fine stadium, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely a great stadium on Eagles game days. Great memory from for Bears fans when we beat them on Black Friday to cement ourselves as one of the elite NFC teams.
Yep.
But I have this at 11 as well. I mean, nothing bare bones. The good thing about Philadelphia is that all their sports teams are in the same quarter mile area in South Philly. I mean, it's pretty good off the highway to get
Yeah. It's
and
designed for it.
in the one of the best cities, one of the most historic cities in the world. I think it's hosting a game on 4th of July, if I'm not mistaken, on the 250th
Hmm.
anniversary of the United States.
That's cool.
And then we go to the next one, a stadium that you and I are probably going to go to this NFL season, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Where do you have
Uh,
this one?
this one comes in right at number two for me. I mean, one of the most modern stadiums in the world. And, you know, having that retractable roof is nice there in Atlanta. Keep the heat out.
Hmm.
Obviously, you get a pretty good sized crowd there, pretty average, around 70,000 or so for this event. Not to mention, it's got the fan-friendly concessions. I don't know if they're doing that with FIFA or not, but I know in the NFL it's known for having some well-priced, affordable food. Which never can't complain about that. It's also like as far as this newer stadium goes, it feels a little bit more designed for soccer, you know. I know that Atlanta's MLS team plays there, and
Hmm.
just it's got the steeper bowl, so
They
yeah.
they did build it for anticipation of an MLS team. and they got it in 2017 with Atlanta United. And you mentioned the cheap concessions. I'm very interested to check that out. To Atlanta for the game, but hopefully the Bears win that one. We break the curse. But yeah, I have this at number three. I mean, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, right smack in the middle of downtown Atlanta, right by the old Georgia Dome, and they turn that one into I think a tailgate lot for games.
Gotcha.
So it'll be something to check out. I think the Fan Fest at Centennial Plaza, Centennial Olympic Plaza, right there in downtown Atlanta, and I think yep, Atlanta's a good host city for soccer and what they built over the past decade or so.
Yeah, for sure. They've definitely built a solid soccer team. I think they have one of the higher MLS attendances now.
I think so. I think they have gotten a couple 70,000 games in the early parts, but Atlanta United's not a good of a team.
Gotcha.
They're kind of struggling right now over the past 5 years or so,
Yeah, that might be part of the problem then.
but they still average like 30,000 people in for
It's still pretty good for MLS.
I'm for sure. And I think, and now the next one, a team that's been synonymous with MLS success, Seattle at Lumen Field, or what it's called, Seattle Stadium, a stadium that was actually built in 2002 to lure the World Cup up there. Where do you have this one?
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good stadium, one of the more soccer design stadiums, like you just mentioned. I've got it at number five, known for keeping that loud atmosphere in with those overhanging roofs, I guess.
Hmm.
And it's just that combination there kind of leads it into being one of the better spots. I've watched a couple of these Team USA games, or I guess the second Team USA game will be upcoming
Yeah,
next week,
on
but
Monday night. Hmm.
yep, and it's been pretty good, so can't complain about that.
I'm definitely home of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, one of the best atmospheres in the NFL, registering earthquakes on the Richter scale during games.
Yeah,
And for USA games, I think there was a small earthquake when they scored, if I'm not
that's good.
mistaken. But for me, I have this stadium at number seven. It's definitely a great stadium. Seattle's a great city for soccer over the past 20, almost 20 years or so. That Seattle's been a franchise, over 40,000 average attendance every game. And for the World Cup, they've definitely been great hosts for US games. I think they played mostly Belgium games there. So I think it will kind of be a home field advantage for Belgium in a way.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But yeah, I have them at number seven. And
All right.
the next one is a stadium that you and I have been to several times. We'll be going there next year. It's Hard Rock Stadium, or what's called during the tournament Miami Stadium. Where do you have this one?
Yeah, I'd go Hard Rock Stadium at number 10, which honestly might even be a little nice to it, just due to the fact that I didn't really consider the heat quite as much. I mean, I'm sure that summer heat in Miami is atrocious, but the stadium itself, it's pretty modern, having that renovation recently, and it's got the nice overhanging shade. Other than that, maybe not the most soccer built stadium, definitely feels more like a football bowl. But other than that, can't complain too much.
I mean, you mentioned the Heat. The NFL should ban 1 o'clock games in September in that stadium and have them play at 4:05.
Yeah, at least.
Luckily, most of the World Cup games in Miami have been starting past 6 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken.
That's good.
They're not baked too much in the heat. Yeah, the transportation around there sucks. Traffic sucks around there. But I have at number six, based on the
Really.
aesthetics and the city of Miami as a whole, even though it's like 20 miles away from downtown. Hard Rock Stadium's still a good one at number six. Still a good aesthetics with the towers holding the roof up. That's kind of
Yeah.
an iconic look over the past years. So I think six is definitely a good spot for it.
Yeah, I thought I might have had it a little high. I think you definitely have it a little high, but it's all right.
I'm for sure. And then we go to the next one, Gillette Stadium and or what's called Boston Stadium for the World Cup. What do you have? Where do you have this one?
Yeah, I've got Gillette Stadium at 13. I mean, it's a decent stadium, but there's not really anything that great. It's just an open bowl, kind of average NFL stadium, I'd say, and far away from the city too. I mean,
Yeah.
stadium's way outside of Boston. Not really that easy to get to for fans, and I think there's a train line, but I don't know. I doubt that's enough to carry all the fans, so it's probably been a bit of a mess.
And I think they have buses getting people from Boston to the stadium. But yeah, to your point, it's an average NFL stand. They just renovated it, which made it a little bit better. Bigger scoreboard. They moved the lighthouse to the top of the scoreboard, which kind of makes it nice.
Hmm.
It's a unique stadium, but in the middle of nowhere, and I have that number 12.
Yeah, pretty close to me then.
And now the next one, first one for Canada, BC Place in Vancouver. Where do you have this one?
You've got Gillette Stadium at 12. I've got BC Place at 12. I
Really?
mean, it's a great soccer stadium, good eternal vibe, but coming in at a 50,000 person capacity, it's just not really that great to overcome the capacity issue for me. I mean, it's definitely on the lower end for this tournament. And I will say, though, the location is nice there, being right in downtown Vancouver.
Hmm. I mean, like you said, location, location, location. That's why I have this at number 5. And BC Place is it's definitely right there in downtown Vancouver. One of the nicer stadiums after the renovation they had in the early 2010s to bring it up to make it nicer for MLS. Because before that, I think it was built in the 80s. If you looked at pictures from back then, it looked exactly like how the Metrodome looked with the air supported dome. But I would say it's top 5 because of the way they did the roof, how it opens up. And it's also a great stadium for soccer, host of the 2015 Women's World Cup final and the home of the Whitecaps. Who knows for how long, but we'll see if they relocate or not. But I think Vancouver Stadium BC Place is number 5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's just, how much do you value that drop off in capacity?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the next stadiums are all outside of the United States, and the next one is Estadio BBVA, or what's called Estadio Monterrey for the World Cup. Where do you have this one?
This one was lower capacity also, but I still have it at number 6. I mean, one of the most architecturally stunning locations. I mean, the
Hmm.
stadium itself has a very nice modern appearance, and the backdrop there with the mountains and everything. It's definitely got a game-changing atmosphere that makes it higher up on the list despite the size.
I agree with you there. I mean, with the mountains uh, in the background, for me, I have it at number 4. The aesthetics of the stadium, it's built in the past 10 years, home of Monterrey FC. I mean, when you watch a game there, it feels like that's a soccer stadium with the fans closer to the ground. Like, it feels like you're watching a World Cup if it was held outside of North America
Yeah, for
stadium.
sure.
So you have it at, where'd you have it at?
6.
6. I have it at 4. So definitely one of the smaller ones, but I would say it's definitely number 4 for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
And now the next one is Estadio Akron or Estadio Guadalajara. Where do you have this one?
This is another really nice stadium with a smaller capacity. I've got it at number 8. It's got
Yeah.
that soccer specific, nice volcano shape almost,
Hmm.
but provides some great views and it's got the fan passion, that you get there.
Yeah.
So definitely loses a little bit just due to the capacity, but otherwise a great stadium.
Yeah, I have it right around that area as well. I have it at number 9. And you mentioned the uniqueness of it with the whole uh, patch of what it looks like a volcano around the stadium. And also on the inside of the stadium, you have kind of like a Wrigley Field type of thing with the hedges around between the stands and the field. And definitely brings a lot of uniqueness into that. Even though the capacity 45,000 664 people, it's still a great stadium all around. And Guadalajara's been a great host city so far.
Yeah, for sure.
And now, last but not least, the smallest capacity stadium, Toronto FC's home BMO Field or Toronto Stadium. Where do you have this one at?
See, you say last but not least, but for me it is least. Number 16, BMO Field. Very small capacity, and honestly, the stadium itself is not that nice. I mean, it's soccer specific. That's really the only thing going for it. The
Mhm.
location is all right, but the stadium itself, it just looks kind of dated, and it's definitely not up to the newest technology, you know?
I'm for sure they had to bring in some temporary seating to get it above 40 to make their capacity better, and it still won't
Exactly.
last. I mean,
Yeah.
it's disappointing for a city like Toronto to have a small stadium like that. I mean, Rogers Center, I don't think you could have used that. It's definitely not that nice of a soccer stadium, and they just reconfigured that to be a baseball only stadium, so you really can't do much
Yeah.
about it. But yeah, for me, I have it at 14th. And what gets it points is that the view of the skyline of Toronto, it's still close enough in that view, but I think Toronto definitely needs a new stadium before hosting the World Cup again.
Yeah, for sure. I'm honestly surprised they don't have a larger stadium. I guess it just comes down to the fact they don't really have a team that commands one, you know, and Canada in general, you know, their soccer teams are usually MLS teams that don't
Yeah.
require these large stadiums. Their Canadian football teams don't really require large stadiums. They don't have NFL teams, so between it all, there's just not oftentimes not a lot of need for a large rectangular shaped field. I mean, obviously you do have the one field there for the Blue Jays in Toronto, but that's about
Yeah.
it.
And they this is a CFL stadium, like you said.
Yeah.
Argonauts play there. But if Toronto gets an NFL team, I think that stadium would be one of the nicest in the league.
Yeah, they'd for sure get a new upgraded stadium.
I'm for sure. Well, tell us what you guys think about our rankings. Leave a list of your own. Tell us what we got wrong, what you would change, and subscribe to the channel for more. We'll be back on Sunday for more streams of the World Cup. We have Brazil, Norway, Mexico, England at 8 o'clock. So make sure to tune into those. Plus, hit that subscribe button for more. And we'll see you again next time. Thank you guys for watching.